All right, welcome in everybody to Locker Room Sports Talk. This is Polish Day podcast here on Thursday. We got everything lined up through the week, got all our practicing done, and it's time to get after it. Tomorrow night, and the ending of our regular season of high school football, pretty much for most all teams. Playoffs are getting right here on us. We'll take a look at some of the nearer regions of the bracket, and of course, look at some teams around here in the county and who they got to match up for tomorrow night. Thank y'all, and come back and hang out. And let's go all over it together.
Welcome to Locker Room Sports Talk.
All right, guys, welcome into here at Locker Room Sports Talk. I'm your host, Big Matt. We're going to talk about some games around here in Cherokee County football area. Two teams are off. Samurai and Cedar Bluff are both on their byes this week. So we'll be taking a look first. Let's jump right in here to it. Head first, Polish Day podcast. The hay's in the barn. Practice time's over. We got the walkthroughs done today. The guys are ready, clear, crisp, clean, and popping. And some teams, not everybody's going to make a playoff. And that's just how it goes sometimes. You pack it up and you go into basketball season for most schools, and they get ready to go do that. But for the ones that are still playing, that's going to get to go still play in playoffs. Congrats to you guys, and rest of you guys. We'll see y'all guys next year, and we do appreciate it. Let's start with Cherokee County. Right now, sitting in on the season, 6-3, scoring 240 points for and 164 against. You can find all this stuff on Max Preps. I'll find most of this, and AHSA has some rankings. Points total this year. Talking about Cherokee County, I'll be matching up against Asheville. Right now, this region, here's kind of how it looks. No kind of sort of order. Alexandria 7-1, Anniston 8-0 region champs. Asheville 6-2, Cherokee County 6-3, Etowah 0-8, and then Hopes Bluff and Oneonta are 4-4. White Plains 3-5. Now, as far as region play, your top four teams: Cherokee County 4-2, along with Asheville, and Anniston, of course, 6-0 at the top, and Alexandria 5-1. And their lone loss region being to Anniston. Now, as far as the Cherokee County, their matchup style and play against Asheville, they are 49-6 all time. 49-6. That was the score last year. My apologies. They're 11-0 against Asheville. Had never lost to them. Last year it was 49-6. Now, Asheville is a little better team this year, and I've talked to some other coaches about them. They've kind of portrayed it to say that they feel like Asheville was just playing with a little more confidence this year. They got a new coach, changed a few things up, so it's good for young guys to be playing confident and feel like they have a chance. I mean, everybody's got a chance. So Cherokee County rolling in up to Asheville this weekend. That'll be the end of their regular season stuff, and we'll look at some playoff brackets and stuff as we go along through the way. And next on the list, let's break down Galesville Trojans. Galesville won last year over Woodville, 62-28 last year. And again, this is a different Woodville team. Just reports from people that's been at the games and told me about Woodville that it's just the same thing, man. They're playing with more confidence. The coach has got some guys in there. They brought back most of their guys from last year. They run the ball really well. They're tied up front. They tackle good. And, a lot of it, I think, has got to do with just not quitting, and giving up on themselves. And coaches has got them playing with that confidence. And confidence is king in all things, especially baseball a lot because you're one-on-one pitcher and batter. But football has a lot to do, with confidence and, believing that you do have a chance. And always feeling like as long as the clock is rolling, we can keep this game close, that we can go out there and win this game. So Woodville's looking for a little strike back Woodville, they are 13-6 all time. Gillsville leading the series 13-6. As far as on the year right now, Gillsville started out the season, first two games at Donahoe and at Asbury, with good wins over there. They went on a few weeks there to lose to Valley Head and Appalachian, which at the time, no, Valley Head suffered a loss here or there later on in the year, but Appalachian is running the region over there. They're a really good football team. And then they got a win up at Ider, and then Gillsville did lose to Spring Garden 34-8, and played Raglan. The score don't indicate really how it kind of went. It was 41-20 over there. So this is just, kind of going to be what they're, dealt with right now for the rest of the year. Appalachian, like I said, they're 9-0, man. They're 5-0 in the region over there, and Gillsville and Ider are going to be the 1-4, and Ider's 0-5 in the region. Raglan's 2-3 in the region, but Spring Garden, they just keep chopping away. Woodville, this would be another. If they get the win, it'd be another good addition to a region win for them. They'd put them 5-1. That'd be Appalachian, Woodville, Spring Garden, and Appalachian, Spring Garden, Woodville. Man, their four could be. Raglan gets a win. They could put them at 3-3. Probably Raglan at 4, I guess. Yeah. But overall, that's what we're dealing with there. Now, your last team, the other two are off. Like we said, Sandrock and Cedar Bluff are on bye weeks this week. So Spring Garden, they're going to be playing Ramburn. And last year, Spring Garden won the game 40-7. I'm pretty sure. I think I was at that game. It was Raglan. Anyway, good game last year. They're 1-5 against them, but they did beat them last year. And, Spring Garden's taking care of business. They've kind of went, back and forth. They start off with a big win up in county region at Sandrock, 44-28, and lost to Pleasant Valley, which is a good football team. And they beat Raglan. Lost to a good Woodville team, beat Valley Head, 2-week winning streak. They beat Cedar Bluff 42-14. Dropped one to Appalachian, but Appalachians beat everybody. It's not like when you lose one of those games, you're like, oh, darn, you lost to a good football team, and you keep playing right, and you'll meet them again. Spring Garden does take care of business 28-14 over Ider, and it says they'll be they're off this week, so they'll get Ramburn next week. Okay, so let's see here. As far as like records and where everybody kind of stands on regions and that kind of stuff, let me go back over here, HSA page. Regions, okay. And 1, 2, 3, Appalachian, Woodville, Spring Garden, Raglan. Okay, we made a good guess with that one. Okay, and then we'll go back up here and take a look at the 1A. How they kind of got this sectioned off now. They're starting to fill in a little bit more. Spring Garden, we know they'll play Hackleburg, so that's all we kind of know about that so far. Just things all we kind of go by is what we know on these here. And 2A, it looks like Southeastern Seliger matchup. Custer Christian has gained a spot. They'll be at region winner 7-1 Tuscaloosa Academy tomorrow night. Custer Christian's traveling to Tuscaloosa. And we went to that game last year. It's that case. I had to see this Tuscaloosa Academy guy. Man, that quarterback, man, he can go. He can really he can throw the football. I'm telling you, it's something. It really is something to see. And 3A is still very spotty. Golly, man, there's like some ties, and that's going to be some of those regions. 3A is going to be a big mess. 4A is still the same way. We talked about it last week, where Cherokee County is, and we can go back and get into some of that. Kind of where they're at and who they'll be playing, and Good Hope is what we hear, so far. Now, if they was to lose to Asheville, looks like they would get they would get Hamilton. They have travel to Hamilton, so we'll kind of see how that fares out. Now, I got to look at this 1A region, man. Wadley and Winterboro. Okay, they're both off this week. Yeah, we do have some teams off for Halloween. Why does it have them off on here? So Wednesday. Yeah, Sandrock's Mr. Larry by beating Cedar Bluff, and they already beat Section. And let's see here. Let me go back to that. Oh, crap. Wrong one. They're already in. Yeah, but it depends. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to do this because it's not. Let me define this schedule. Let me go to Max Preps. Section plays the Valley tomorrow. Why is one place has got them off? And okay, so plays the Valley is really kind of rock and rolling right now. Most would assume by computer picks, Massey has plays the Valley like a 2-touchdown favorite over Section. So if that holds true, which you don't know, I mean, games played on grass. With Sandrock holding that head-to-head over Cedar Bluff, and they've already beat Section, then by this, Section shows to be forward. The locks are Pisgah, Pleasant Valley, North Sand Mountain. Sandrock and Section are the next two, and they're both same record. Now, one of them shows they don't, but their record shows that they do play. And let me triple check this. Because I know Spring Garden plays because I see their post and all that kind of stuff. Because they're talking about making the guys bags to take with them. I guess not. So Gilesville, I know Cedar Bluff it's tough. Looks like Cedar Bluff plays Donahoe on Thursday night. Okay. So everybody is off. Cherokee County's at Asheville. That's 24th. Yeah. They are off. See if Piedmont's at Walter Wellborn. Cedar Bluff's off. And Sandrock is at Gaston. That's what we're looking for right there. Sandrock is at Gaston this week. So I was wrong. I had Sandrock and Spring Garden mixed up from last week. Yep, Sandrock at Gaston this week. So looking at that matchup, 47-8 last year was the score. And I'm pretty sure Alec had a a big game. He's going to, if he has the same game that he did last year against them, then I think he's already passed his total yards for last year already, I think. See, right now they're scoring 170 points. It's pretty good. Pretty good. They've been in some tough spots, but they're figuring out a way to get the ball down the field. Defensively, they got some young guys. And, when you start the year, 0-3, it's hard. But, they got the win at section, built some confidence, 35-12. And they went on a 3-game losing streak. Well, Matt, gosh, why do you say that? Because they lost to Pleasant Valley. Collins won Pisgah. These are teams that are runner-ups in their regions. Collins was 3A, and they were in one of the hardest regions up here in this area, which Geraldine and Fife are playing for that region championship tomorrow night. It's probably where we'll be at. Good gracious, man. I don't think nobody's knocking Sandrock for losing to Pleasant Valley. Collins on Pisgah. And West End, Big School, North Sand Mountain, nobody's knocking you for that one. Spring Garden opened up the season. That's a tough rival game. And I was at that game. And Coach Ragsdale and bunch, they just come out there and they were ready. They had a good game plan and played a good game. And it is what it is. So Sandrock and Gaston, 23-18 is the record, so they hold the favor in the series. I am going to suspect that Sandrock has success tomorrow night up at Gaston. Then they'll come home next weekend and play Whitesburg Christian, which I think they're kind of about where they were last year. Usually got some young guys. I think they've added to the team some. I'd heard, like last year they didn't have a lot of guys, but they've added some this year. It's good for young guys to be playing football. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Let's see here. My goodness. Okay. So, yes. What's going on, Worm? OG from Cedar Bluff, Bluff Tech back in the day. One of the best to ever strap it up, Cedar Bluff, Jeremy Bryant. Go check out some of his. There's some old videos out there of him playing. Man, he can do it, bro. So that's kind of some local stuff. Spring Garden and Cedar Bluff are off. Sandrock's at Gaston. Gills was at Woolville. And Cherokee County is at Asheville. We broke down some of that talk and stuff. Now, what about a few other games around the state? Because there's still some other games to where – especially that 3A, man. There's a golly darn. Let's just go right to 3A because then we'll go back up to 4 and then go 2-1. Man, T.R. Miller and Bayside Academy. That's a great matchup, dude. That is a really good matchup. T.R. Miller's favorite in that one. Let's see here. Escambia County, Hillcrest Evergreen. Houston Academy and Trinity. Be a good one. So let's see. Tonight's games, let's see, any around here before we get too far into this. Woodlines at Parker, Besson Mercedes at McAdory tonight. Now let's go 4A here. Just some. Alexandria's going to play Etowah. We can feel like Alexandria probably Etowah hadn't won a game, man. Darn, I hate that, bro. It's a great tradition of football there. I actually went there and watched Cadillac play one night. Wow, he had like a punt return, a kick return, and run a touchdown. They lost the game, but I can honestly probably say in a high school football game, not a state championship game, but just high school football game, he's one of the best football players I've ever seen in my eyes. Live in person was Cadillac. He's like that watching, it's kind of like Crowell at Jackson. Like he's just got another gear. Like when you think you got him, he does a little bit something different. Like everybody else just kind of don't got it. You're playing 17, 18 years. He seems like he's 25. So, shout out Etowah. Coach Peavy get it back on track there. Hanley at Booker T. Washington, be a good game. Hooks Bluff, shout out to Coach Sexton and Coach Rob and them. They're going to be at Aniana. That'll be a good game. That'll be a good game. Hooks Bluff people will travel well tomorrow night. That'll be a good game. Madison Academy at Plainview. That'll be a good game. Munford at St. James. I know sounds crazy. They both only won like 1 or 2 games, but that'll be a good game. I'm telling you. New Hope Westminster Christian. West Oregon at Wilson. No. White Plains at Anniston. Is there I don't know. There's always a chance, but I wouldn't think so. Yeah, we just talked about Bayside Academy at T.R. Miller. Wow, man. Brindley Mountain at Sylvania. They both have won 2 games this year, so, good matchup. Lee Scott Academy at BB Corner. Thomas White Greensboro. Thorsby at Southside of Selma. 2A. Aliceville at Sullinger. Aliceville's 1-7. Darn, man, what's going on? What's up there, Mr. Westmoreland Hicks? 5 Red Devil. We will be seeing you tomorrow night, and holler at me when you see me over there. We'll need to get caught up. We always try to go see 5 play a game at least once a year when kind of everybody's out of town or Cedar Bluff's off or something. They don't have to call games. We always try to go see 5 at least once a year. I think it's a good opportunity for us to go, and it's for the region championship too at Geraldine. I think it's going to be a great game. See Laverne at Goshen, be a good one there. Pisgah at North Sand Mountain. Man, Geraldine game gets bad. If something goes wonky, we could tear out and go up North Sand Mountain. Is that not for region championship? No. 2 yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah. Let's see here again. Pleasant Valley's 4-1. North Mountain's 4-1. Pisgah's 5-0 in the region. Then that would be Pisgah at North Sand Mountain. That's number 1 and 3. Pleasant Valley's 2 because they're both 4-1, but Pleasant Valley's 8-1 overall, so that kind of dedicates them to be 2. Red Bait Tanner, no. Southeastern, no. No. All right, 1A. Appalachian Valley Head. Brantley's 5-3 right now. They're at Kingston. Donahoe 0-8 at Woodland 2-6. Keith at Billingsley should be a good game. Maplesville at Verbena. Maplesville's freaking good, man. I don't know who else is going to have a shot at winning this 1A in Maplesville. Their kid, the McCrary kid, and then they got a little tailback Win, I think's right. They got 3 super playmakers. Who would ever believe Sweetwater would be 4-4? It's crazy. That's the game of the century right there. Winterboro at Wadley. If we just had a helicopter. That's a terrible drive. Who on here? Let's go to the Peanut Gallery. Got a lot of comments. Who on here has been to Wadley? Raise your hand. Hit the thumbs up if you hadn't been or if you have been to Wadley. That's That's probably one of the more important games of the tomorrow night. This is as important as Fife going to Geraldine. I mean, region title type stuff. Come out Wadley. Being there, you kind of assume for some reason. No idea. It does that sometimes. Wadley. They are 17-5 versus Winterboro. Last year, Wadley won 52-12. Wadley has given up 48, 55, 58, 78 points this year. They scored 350. They got Winterboro. They were off last week. And Winterboro's got they're a good football team. That's, region championship game. There it is, at Wadley. Gosh, Lord, man. But again, that drive, holy moly. 7A Region 1 play, 7A Region 4 in the playoffs. How do you predict those two regions? Let's see. 7A Region 1 and 4. Let's take a look. Mary Montgomery is freaking good. And I hadn't seen Fairhope Baker. I've seen Daphne play. They got a pretty good football team, too. I have seen Mary Montgomery play. They're good, man. Region 2, Central Phoenix City loaded. Carver Montgomery. They're canceled that game. Something else is going on there. Thompson's in Region 3 won. Trent Seaburn did commit to Alabama. Region 4, I don't know, Ben. That's Florence, Austin, James Clemens, Sparkman, Huntsville. Bob Jones is in Mobile. Wait a minute. How can they be in the – wait a minute. Ain't Bob Jones high school? Maybe I'm – let me just check myself before I wreck myself. No way. Oh, no. Okay, my bad. Okay. High school located in Madison, Alabama, which is Huntsville. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I don't know. That Region 4 is, I don't know much about. The Region 1, they're loaded, man. That's a great region. Yeah, if Florence wins tomorrow, they'll be region champs of the 1, and they'll play Daphne in the first round. It'll be a good game. Okay. AL Preps. Yeah, I read through some of their stuff sometimes. Cherokee County say loses the first round. Would that give West Morgan a clear path to state championship? Well, I don't know, man. There's still too much on the bone. It's hard to tell right now. Well, you still going no, Ben? I would say no because No, because West Morgan's going to have to beat Alexandria Anniston. Don't forget they're in these playoffs, and I've seen them both twice. They got speed that can be hard to keep up with. That West Morgan would probably have a little hard time keeping up with. If West Morgan is the same team I watched last year and year before. If it's the same, kind of Anniston and that MK Marsh kid, Alexandria, that Beasley kid, that Marsh kid special. Dude, he scored all their touchdowns. He's fast. They had two guys. Turkey County had two. They had the coverage defense called right. Guys over the top playing, headed on down the field. Safety breaks away and covers him, catches the ball, runs up on him, and, hits the ball, and the other one tries to tackle him. He spins out of both and turns back in the middle of the field and score. That's just not real common for most kids to probably – they're young. I don't know if they're Marsh kids. Somebody Alexandria tell me. I think he's just a junior. So, no, that's not going to be a clear path. Now, their path's going to go through Alexandria Anniston somewhere along the way. That'll be a tough one. Very tough. AL Preps. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, yeah, by the way, AJ McCarron is running for lieutenant governor. What about that? That's pretty interesting. Thought I'd mention that. So you want to throw his hat in the mix? So, heck, it's not a good idea. It's Clay Chalkville, and they're playing right now. Clay Chalkville, Pennsylvania. Gosh, what am I doing on here? Let's get off here and watch that game. Y'all don't want to hear me talk. Heck, Farner, what am I doing? Where's it on? Is it on Alabama Public TV? It's on NFHS, which I don't have. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, right there. I was fixing to come on. Heck yeah, bro. Really? Clay Chalkville Penson fixing to come on about 20 good. We'll be off here. We need to watch that. That's recommended TV watching right there. I hear you, BL. Polish sausage and fried cabbage. Well, you just let me know what time to be there, brother. My God, I'll show up. Yeah, but that's last year, Ben. This is not this. Neither one of them are the same team. I watched Anniston play last year. They're different. They play more consistent. They're better up front, and their quarterback makes better decisions. And Coach Jackson's done a good job, and his staff. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee beat Alabama, before too. And Tennessee couldn't even hardly score on Alabama this year. You know that. Woodland and Parker's the game on there. Crap. It won't tell me who's on high school football 7. Okay, there it is. I don't. I wonder if it's on. Let's see if it's on F and N. Who are they? Are they covering the game for the week? I wonder who their game of the week is going to be. Who? Mr. Jim and Bunch. What they got going on? I'll have to find it on his Facebook. Yeah, it's not on there. Who's Woodland? That'd be a good game. Woodlawn and Parker. I mean, this could still be a good one. Dang, Clay Chalk and Pinson. Let's see here. Where was... There it is. Yep, there's still a lot of stuff at stake heading into work for Week 10 Alabama high school season. Saraland and Theodore will decide their 6A Region 1 title on Friday. Hartsville Muscle Shoals will do the same thing for 6A Region 7. Baker can win 7A Region 1 title with a home win versus Fairhope. So those are all things going down tomorrow night. Just some of them, and we're going to be probably at Geraldine tomorrow. Yep, girls volleyball stuff, Elite 8, and all that stuff's going on. We don't care about flag football. Okay. So that's kind of that for region games all around the area and stuff. Everybody knows who everybody's playing. And I think most of our teams will be favored. The majority of the teams in our county will be favored tomorrow night. Now, let's see here. We'll go to... That'd be a tough game for Gilsel. It will be. And they did win the game last year, but Woodall's playing a lot better. Different team. But if anybody can do it, the darn old Napster can. Coach Knapp. All right. Any other news? Local stuff's kind of run through the sauce there. Any other? Let's see. I broke down Alabama, South Carolina. Anything else to add to that? If anybody wants to add the room, the door is open. Yeah. I'm just not a I'm not a I'm not a fan of that region. I'm just being honest. Not that I don't like it. Ain't nothing against nobody or nothing like that. Of course. 4A Region 5 is not, since I've been doing the show for years, they hadn't shown to produce anybody to come out of that region. Region 7 will play 8. So that's how. Let's see here. We'll go here and here. Yeah, so Region 7 and 8, so 1 and 4 will play. Deshler plays Randolph. North Jackson plays West Morgan. So on and so forth. 5 plays 6, 7 plays 8 this year. Sometimes they do like 6 plays 8 and 5 plays 7. This year it's 5, 6, and 7 and 8, and 1 will play 2 and 3 plays 4 for the South. So I'm just saying, I've watched that region play and play and play. Seen them play live in person from Cordova to Fayette County and Good Hope. I just never. Region 6 is the region for North. I mean, it's just. I mean, for past 5 years or so that our Region 7, Anniston wasn't even in that region. They played down in like Region 4 or something. They had them stuck in the South. So we ain't heard nothing from them. Region 6 and 4A North is, I mean, Anniston, Alexandria, Cherokee County, Hopes Bluff, Aniana. I mean, they were all in the mix there, too. So those Aniana, Cherokee County, Alexandria, Anniston have, and Hopes Bluff, even last year, they've always been the region. The other regions, I hadn't. I've seen Hatton play. I've seen Brooks. I studied Brooks in Central Florence and Wilson because Center run up on them. The first, a couple of years ago when they was going through that first year, they run across all these teams. And they played West Morgan just last year. It's like trying to pick Auburn to win tomorrow. It's hard to because they showed me that they could. So, what proof do I have to go by to see that they have? I just had never. Sure, yeah, it'd probably be a quarterfinal. What's up, Tommy? You old goat. I tried to look for you on Twitter the other day. Do I think Leeds? Let's see here, Tommy. They're kind of in a. I see that they were winning there for a little while. They've kind of went on a skid there playing Pelham. They're 1-2 versus Pelham. They won last year, 35-28. Now they lost that double overtime to St. Clair County, and then they lost to which Moody's good, man. That's no shame in the game. Got a good win at Center Point, but they got good wins. Well, Baltimore Jordan, maybe Shades Valley. I've seen them play. They're right in the middle of something. They're better this year. They got coach done a good job. I know Cherokee County had played them, and I've seen them play in person. They're small in spots, especially for 4A, man. That Shades Valley, the coach he's doing as good as he can do with what he's trying. Springville not real great. Coach Hendo out at Lincoln, shout out to him. He was defensive coach at Cherokee County at Lincoln. Leeds beat them 45-15. They lost to Jacksonville, which is a good 5A team. Beat Briarwood. I don't know, Tommy. Let's see. Where is Pelham? Okay, they're 3-5 on the year, so it sounds possible. But who they lose to? Pell City, Oak Mountain, Spain Park, Benjamin Russell's. They got the number one receiver in the state. It's going to Bama, the Morgan kid. So that record may not be too telling. It may be a good game, Tommy. I know when you see a 3-5 team, you think, "Oh, Leeds, well, we'll beat them 3-5 team." Well, good gracious, man, who's the crap, man? Heck, who they playing? That's 6A Region 3, and Leeds is 5A Region 6. So it's a step up. That'd be a quality win for you team, Tommy. Be a good win for them. Yeah, Alabama, South Carolina. What's going on, Zachary? I was talking about that a little bit. We was Bama favored by 11.5. Here's the thing with that. South Carolina has a hard time stat wise, scoring the ball. Red zone efficiency's not real good. Their D backs are not. They give up some big plays. Like I think their left tackles. It's just a mess down there. They don't really have a running back. Remember we talked about it in the summer. They had to move a receiver to play tailback. I think we picked them to win 7 this year. Then we picked South Carolina to win 7 games. I think that's what we had them for. 7. They wouldn't be going to be as good. We knew Sellers was he's good, man. He's going to make some plays. He's going to score. I don't think Bama will shut South Carolina out. God, they're in a bad spot. They fired their line coach. They put in Coach Elson to have the tight end coach. He's going to be coaching line. He was head coach, I think, at Georgia State or something a few years ago. He's come there. Shula, Steve, Mike, Steve. Alabama head coach. He's been there calling plays for a little while. Coach Cam Newton at the Panthers. I guess Beamer felt like he'd be a great fit for Sellers to come in, really spark him and have some great offense. Defensively, honestly, that's just a football connoisseur, period. It's going to be hard for most teams to try to stop 5 wide receivers that Alabama's throwing the ball to. Ty's smoking the ball all over the field. And when you win games and your supposed best receiver, Ryan Williams, don't even have a catch, everybody else is pushing back from the table going, hot dang, man, what do we do? Their top guy didn't even have a catch. They're throwing to Brooks and Horton. Who are they? Where do these guys come from? We know Jeremy was there. He's great. He was good last year. So I think there may be some road lag. Bama last year they didn't play real good on the road. So far, Missouri, they played a good enough game. But I don't think I kind of think they're a little watered down fake news too, like Hardy, their tailback. Guys, he had 100 yards against Auburn and Alabama. Combined. So I don't think Missouri's that good. They're fixing to getting real conference play. They're fixing to go on skids, I think. So I think Bama should be able to take care of it. Bill says, I'm still going Alabama, but this is SEC. South Carolina ain't going to stop. I don't think it matters to – they just don't – their left tackle's out. I think their left tackle and left guard is out. I think they changed their center last week. They don't have a running back. They had to move a receiver. Their leading rusher, I think, it's like had 50 yards or something. South Carolina's in a big mess. It's not real good, guys. He threw 11 different players last week. I don't know who's going to stop that. That's a pretty good guess, Tommy. I had something like 36-14, a little lag on it because Bama hadn't figured out how to play a whole game. They just hadn't. They can't play a whole game. They come out and rip it up first half, and then they kind of just go to sleep. And and they'll come in the fourth. They'll score another touchdown because they're ahead 3 touchdowns, and their defense is playing so great right now. They give up a touchdown, but they were up 21-7 at half. They give up a touchdown in the second half, so then it's 21-14, and it's making you worry like, oh God, they got the ball, here they come. Oh crap! And then Bama will score one late or something, to make it 31-14 or something. Yeah, that's something. There was so much talk about it. It's not. Auburn filed 11 grievances in that game, and they were allocated for 9. So the 2 they were not allocated for, we don't know which 2. We don't know even if they were allocated for the goal line play. I don't know. I ain't got a list in front of me to see. And if somebody's got the list, if Google's got it, then I'll be glad to look at it. Somebody share it, put it up on the page. Yes. Now, here's some facts where some Auburn fans, they just say stupid shit about me personally that stuff that they're saying that I said, which is BS. So we need to get that up front because I'm not going to be publicly mocked and carry on, conversation with, somebody's got the sports intelligent water cooler talk of a sixth grader. I'm way past that. I think I'm above talking to sixth grade level water cooler talk about football. Geez, we scored more points. We win the game. Yeah. Wow, way to go. You're really breaking it down. So let me break it down for you, since some people seem to miss that and misrepresent my words. So let me make my words real clear so people can hear. The ref situation, it's a great idea. This is not the only game he's had strikes against him won. So this is not just from that game. This is in renditions of other games that this has happened to him also. Two, I think the refs should be super more transparent, and there should be more open and honesty from the refs. The freaking coaches lose a game, they have to go sit in front of the media and talk and give explanations why you lost the game. Is it fair sometimes? Well, it's just part of it. Hugh Freeze is getting grilled. Well, I guess so, because you won like 13 games in 3 years. You make millions of dollars to win football games. Yeah, somebody should be getting on his tail. Somebody should be getting on him. So, yep, that's partly fair too. And I would like to see the refs go down and, if they get, bad calls when they're turned in and the SEC officials check it and say, yep, you missed these 3 calls. I would like to see the old camera come on and people at least give an explanation. Like, here's what I saw. This is what I missed. After reviewing it, I saw it this way. And obviously I was wrong. I'm human. I messed it up. I don't know why in this referee case with this Auburn-Georgia game, why was the replay officials not held accountable? The guy's seen the ball come out. He's looking down the line. It was so close on the computer. You can't even look at it on a still frame. You had to look at it moving. As soon as the ball just starts to touch the line, it's moving out of his hand. They was punching it, and it happens real fast. And you just see the ball come out, and the Georgia guy picks it up, and you're like, "Oh, hang on, whatever, hang on." So the ref, they call it fumble on the field. That's probably what all people being honest and not being fans and having sensitive women feelings, be a man and say what you see and just say, "Yep, if that was me, 9 out of 10 people was probably going to say, yep, that was a fumble." But I do like the transparency. There needs to be more. These refs held accountable. There's no accountability, man. They just make a bad game. The kick six, since we're going to get into our panties about it, the kick six, they didn't even review it. When he was running down the field, he was so bow-legged, his foot, he stepped out of bounds. When the camera turned around on the big screen, you could see it plain as day. 3 other people in the room with me, 1 Auburn fan and 2 other Alabama fans said he stepped out of bounds. But the refs run out of the stadium. Gus got away with some goofy bullcrap call, and you remember Bo Nix clocking the ball in that game? So when bad calls benefit your team, you're silent. But when bad calls don't benefit your team, then you squawking. That's a loser mentality. That's BS, and that's way to covering up for a bad coach that's done a terrible job, that's got a complete culture problem down there that's nothing but a dumpster fire, that the head coach needs to be held accountable for because he made the wrong pick for quarterback 3 years now. He had to play the guy he had the first year, but now come in year 3, you went and got a guy off the bench. What did you think he was going to do? You fool. Why would you do that? And the AD needs to be fired too for hiring him. It's silliness. If that one play, if you think that play cost you the game, you don't need to comment. I'm not going to have conversations with 6th grade water cooler vocabulary people that have that degree of sports vocabulary. There's nothing to talk about. I'm talking trig and you're talking 1, 2, 3. We're too far apart. Sorry. One play, one bad call, don't cost you a game. It would have helped if Auburn wouldn't give up 99 yards right after that. But your coach is constantly frowning over there and dogging his quarterback because he don't even know which plays he's running half the time, because the plays that his quarterback and his offensive coach are having meetings on, he don't know because he's not in the meeting room, but he calls plays. How can a head coach call plays and not even in the meeting room for the offense? He's out doing head coach stuff. He actually dropped plays off for them to talk about, and when they studied film, they had a check down out of one of those plays. I'm telling you what, these are things that are going on. And he got on to Jackson for it. No wonder he ain't playing good. He's browbeat him constantly because Freeze is a joke. He's got too big an ego. I don't like him. I ain't never liked him. He was a bad hire. You should have never hired him. He's his style of offense and what he does. His line coach can't even get guys to RPO. He don't know if they're RPO blocking or pass blocking. Well, we know they can't pass block. And I know people that were on the sidelines in the Missouri game, on the sidelines, the energy, as soon as it went to overtime, dead. Done. They were done. That's from your head coach. So if hating is a term that you want to use to say that the head coach is accountable for wins and losses at the school, he has obviously no leadership qualities, because it shows by the losses on his record. 0-4 again, year after year after year. The AD needs to be fired too for keeping him. That's not hating. I'm just being honest. And Mike G from the War Report agrees with everything I'm saying. So that's the breakdown about the entire thing about the referees. Yes, they should be held accountable. Yes, I want to see transparency. Yes, I want the refs to do a media spot after the board checks them. And I want to know the 9 calls that Auburn were sent to say, okay, you had put in 11 calls. We found out 9 of them you were correct on. The ref blew it. I want to know which ones. I want that ref to come on right here in the camera and face the nation and say, I messed these 9 calls up and here they are. I want to see a replay I want to see his face in the corner over here, and I want to see a big screen of the play and him tell me why he called that play. It's not right for head coaches to have to go eat a loss. I mean, did we see the game last year, Alabama, Oklahoma? They said Ryan Williams wouldn't even line up on the line or something. He caught a touchdown. They called the touchdown back because another guy was lined up, and they went back and showed it on the replay, and he wasn't. Completely bogus call. Completely bogus. They just flat lied. Touchdown, threw the ball. As soon as he caught it, the flag come down the field after he caught it. But that's the difference. Bama fans, we're not going to just I'm not going to just get hung up on one call. We lost the game because Jalen threw too many picks. That's the reality of it. It ain't because the bad call. They took a touchdown off board. Would it help? Yeah, sure. But Milroe throwing the ball to the wrong team, that's what lost you the game. Because I can see it, and having a fan of a winning cultural team, you can understand things from a macro level. I'm not looking at micro. They're looking at we got robbed one play. We lost the game. It's not fair because they're losers. The whole program's been a mess for so long. They've got one legit national championship, and the corn dog, Corny Cohen, puts up styrofoam numbers at the stadium and claims titles they didn't even play in. They claim a title. This is how bad it is at Auburn. It's just, I don't understand. It's sad. Their AD claims a title the year Terry Bowden was there. They didn't even play in a bowl game. Florida State, his daddy won it that year. I watched Florida State win it. Auburn claims that. What kind of sick – Bobby Bowden is one of the best college coaches to coach the game. Great man. Met him. Super great guy. They're claiming that title he won when his son was at Auburn. What are we doing at Auburn? Why? because that's how they do things. It's terrible. Those kind of things are trickle downs that affects this kind of stuff. And when this stuff comes out, Auburn got a bad call. I agree. Okay, that's what. Okay, but it don't cost you a game. The coach can't let go. Same reason the fans can't let go. The fans can't let go, and they keep talking about it because the coach can't let go. Because most of their media people keep blaming a call. It's not. But in alliance with the ref and stuff you're talking about, absolutely. I've been for that for years. The coaches have to answer. The players get in front of the light right in their face. You know, there's, all right, hey, tell us why you dropped that pass down there. Well, they're, young men, 21 years old, have to answer from these reporters about, why they're Ryan Williams, why are you dropping balls? Well, I don't know, just lack of focus here. I'm going to go get better. Didn't blame nobody. It ain't nobody's fault. It's me. I'm gonna fix it. But when the ref makes a bad call, well, why'd you take the touchdown off the board? Well, that guy was he was not on the line. Okay, well, Mr. Ref, let's go to the replay. You can see right here he was. So why'd you make the call? Now working through all that, the Georgia Auburn game and the culture at Auburn, why this guy getting fired has dug up those feelings again. That could cost Auburn the game to Saturday. Watch. They'll get all fired up about it again, talking about, we should have beat Georgia. We should have beat – and they'll forget. You got a game Saturday. They ain't finished the second half of a game since South Alabama. They went flat. Since South Alabama, second halves of games, they better get their head moving forward to play Arkansas. You've got to flush it. The coach, I don't know. All this article does is just pick the scab back off of it. That's all it did. Because now the fans are going to gripe about it. Coaches, all their media people, you go on YouTube, they're all their mediators, and they're talking about nothing else but that. I would suggest this. I like to see Auburn win Saturday. Just focus on Arkansas. And when you get bad calls in that game, everybody gets bad calls, but everybody don't blame the bad calls. People with bad, weak mentality. Hey, he's Auburn hating. He's hating Auburn again. You see him on there? I knew it. I knew he was hating Auburn. Well, I got that quote from a guy that's dad played at Auburn. He's an Auburn, part of their whole culture at Auburn. It's called Crane and Company. Try looking them up. Big time Auburn people. Big time Auburn people. His quote, it looked right in the camera. He got real close to Mike. He said, they're mentally weak. Yeah. That's not my words, it's his. So go get mad at another Auburn guy. They got to be able to move on from this. I want the rest to be able to answer the question. Why did you make that call? What was that 4 overtime game between like Ole Miss and Arkansas a few years ago? That's one of the worst call games. Do you want my opinion on it? And then we'll go look at some other games. We'll get off. My opinion about all this, really, being you was talking about the refs, that he brought that up. And I just had to make some of that clear because I had some people verbally say it, pretty much call me a liar. And I don't. There's one thing I don't like because there's no proof about what he's saying, and he hadn't even done any research to say what he's saying. He's just saying that I said something. I'm like, okay, well, show me. Well, you can't. So you're a liar. If you just say something, well, Zach, he said that the sun's shining right now. Well, that's just not true. We'll prove it. Okay, go outside. Well, it's dark. Zach was wrong. See? So that's why we had to get some of the air straight. Because I'm not going to be called a liar. Nowhere. And so that's, we gotta, why can't refs have interviews? And it can't be after the game because they're not going to know. But I think they do know. Now, here's what I think, Zach and Ben. Yeah, that was a money issue with Eli. He wanted to stay on when the board come, and he'd already missed games. So they told Eli that they were going to let him stay for home games, but not for the travel games. That the new guy, God darn, what's his name? Great guy. He's been part of TV 24 down there, or TV 23 at Alabama. He does the Dynasty podcast with AJ and Trent. Anyway, he was going to be the one going on the road. So Eli was like, well, I want the same money that I was making, but I'm just going to do home games then. If I'm on, they were like, well, no, we can't pay you the same. You're not going to do the same. Well, screw y'all. Well, don't do that. How about we have you come a day and we'll present you with a something nice, do a nice plaque, and gosh darn, man, I mean, you're the voice of Alabama football. Nah, I'm out. All right, buddy. We'll see you. He didn't show up for A-Day. They wanted to do something special for him. He wasn't there. So, and I've had even his wife come on AO.com and tried to, argue with me about it. And I was like, of course you're going to take up for him. He's your husband. But I'm telling you what I read from a report from a guy that was in one of the altercations. He was in the room in one of the situations when it first happened. You're going to be here and he's going to be on the road games. They didn't want to do that. So it's just Chris Stewart. They got to be. So when the games are over, and let me tell you what I think. I don't like to do these because most of you probably agree with me anyway, and y'all probably just don't want to admit it out loud in public. Because right now, what's happening, literally today, the FBI have accosted about 60 people for gambling. We've seen about 2 basketball players, seen all that's go down today. And now, did y'all know that how'd this go? There's open gambling for in-state college football. The players, because they've changed the age or something on this. So I think, which has probably been a lot of part of it for a long time, it's about, we know what makes the world go round. What does? Money. And with all the power, you can have money. And with all the money, you have all the power, right? I think that some of this stuff's fixing to come out, and I don't know if they're going to let it get messy because I think it may corrupt the game in general. It could be a big blow to college football to know that these refs are blowing these games and some calls on purpose because of Vegas, because of betting for money. Hey, man, times is tough. You'll make extra $5,000 a night, drop a touchdown off Alabama-Oklahoma game. Let's make sure they don't cover. Do y'all remember the Auburn game? We're having a good time tonight. Let me just look at something here. The last minute of Auburn versus Oregon title game. 22-19. Auburn was favored by 3.5. Oh, guess who didn't win money? I paid attention to gambling and stuff. I don't want to watch the whole game. Let me see if this is. Here. Bro. I might get struck down for this, and I don't even care. I won't play the sound because that'll definitely get me a. Where the heck is it at? Oh, there it is. I'll turn the sound on. It's here. All right. All right. Sorry if y'all have already jumped off the page. We're talking about some. Right now, we are actually talking about gambling in college football, honestly. These are some of the last plays at Auburn. Now, I know his knee was whatever. I mean, this is not a great film, 2011 or so. That looks like a score, but they said his knee was down before he scored. Well, guess what? Look at the score. Guys, some of y'all forgot. I didn't forget this. When this happened, as soon as it happened, I thought somebody's fixing to get freaking rich tonight. You see where he was down at? Look where they're at. Look at the score. Maybe this is breaking news to people. I'm trying to prove a point here. I'm using Auburn and because one, they're in the news for it. That ref got fired in the game, which we don't even know if that goal line play was one of the ones they lost. I don't even know which 9 they won. So let's just go back just a smidget here. Let's talk about what's going on. He scored. Oh, wait a minute. He didn't score. Says knees down, bang. I thought the ball was already on the line. Are you kidding me? Now, the ref can't control all that. Okay, how he scores and whatever. I think old Chisnick got a phone call. I mean, I'm kind of kidding here a little bit. Don't score that touchdown. You better not. If you want to make it home back to Alabama in your little wagons and chewing tobacco out here, I would suggest go kick the field goal. And that's the end of the game. Auburn wins on a walk-off kickoff with 0 time on the clock. And this is what's perplexing to me. You're telling me Heisman winning, my opinion, Cam Newton, probably one of the best college quarterback athletes to play the game that I've watched. I'm Michael Vick, probably college quarterback. Now, if you want a gunslinging quarterback, let's say AJ McCarron. Winner, 3-time national champion, throw 10,000 yards, whatever. But just like dominate a game, just take it over and just win a game. Cam, why are we doing the old what? You're telling me he can't take that ball, his athletic ability, and jump over the line and score. What? Huh? What are you saying? Cam Newton could not. So, Matt, why are you going back to Auburn? Why are you doing that? See, as an idiot. What are you talking about? I'm making a case showing you that he could have scored a touchdown there, but then they cover. And if you take that, and nobody probably was. Cam was great, but this Oregon team, a lot of people thought they were winning this game. Auburn was favored by 3.5. They won by 3. It's not enough. Somebody made a lot of money on that game, and that's just one small example. And refs can make a difference in a game somehow if it's for money, and I think it's probably been this way for a long time. And here's what we know. I said this a minute ago. The FBI is 63 people or cases are busted open right now. Vegas, it's not going down. Look it up. FBI bust Vegas bettors. 13 hours ago, Billups and Rosie are arrested in gambling investigation. Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups. NBA, FBI details sports betting, rigged poker games, bust involving NBA players. There's a ton of people. Meet the college football player who testified against this. Watch the movie Casino. Have y'all seen that? Please, Lord, tell me you've seen it. Please don't say, no, I ain't seen Casino. Please watch it. It's on YouTube. If you got YouTube Premium, I think you can watch it for free. It's always, but here's the thing. He's right. It's always been this way. Always been this way. Always. Why do you think Vegas is such a big, lavish city out there? Because of the money that's been put through there. Are you kidding? Parker and Woodland. Yeah, I think Parker will beat them. They got a good football team. Yeah, I didn't mean to stay on this long. Really, we got talking about gambling and the referee stuff, which is fine. I mean, I'm on here. I enjoy it. I like talking ball with you guys. Here's another interesting conversation. Is there any shot, guys, that Mississippi State wins at home versus Texas? Don't shoot me. Is there a chance? Here's what I got to thinking about. I was talking about Auburn and Arkansas. When you go to Auburn's schedule, I don't think they're beating Vanderbilt. They should beat Mercer, and I don't think they can beat Bama either. They can't cover all the receivers, and Bama's defense Jackson will have a tough day. But even if they beat Arkansas, I've heard a lot of people just kind of fluff over the Kentucky game for Auburn. Really? I mean, did we miss where Texas and did we just miss Kentucky and Texas last week? I mean, come on, hello. They had to kick a field goal to win the game late. I mean, I remember looking over there at halftime, and it's like 7-0 Texas. What the heck is going on? Texas defense give up 258 passing from Kentucky. You know how many Texas passed for against that mighty Wildcat defense? 132. Oh, yeah. Kentucky defense also held Texas. Kentucky defense held Texas to 47 yards rushing. 47 yards. Now, what was the question we just asked? Is there a chance at 3 o'clock on SEC Network Saturday that Mississippi State at home 4-3 beats number 21 5-2 Texas? Mississippi State offense over 400 yards, 58th in the country. Their scoring defense 37th. Overall, 81st in the FBS offense for Texas. The only thing they got going for them is the rush defense is 6th. They only give up a couple 83 yards a game. But that don't mean they're really giving it up because they're 39th in pass defense. So people are not running the ball on them because they don't have to. They're throwing it and winning winning games. Texas lost how many games? 3 now? Dude, they're talking about all these coaches on the hot seat. Oh Lord, this may be a messy week. There's a possibility for this to be. Y'all thought what about 3 weeks ago we had a messy weekend? Like 5 of the top 10 lost. This may be the messiest blood battle on the SEC side. Big Ten, we don't have to worry about them. They don't play nobody. I mean, Indiana's playing 3-3 UCLA, playing crap teams. No, they're not playing any ranked. No Big Ten. They're not playing no hardly. I don't rank nothing. Nobody cares about them. They're going to tiptoe to the playoffs healthy because they don't play nobody. And we're down here beating the crap out of each other and not healthy. That's why we can't. That's one of the reasons why we can't go there and win one. Our team's hurt because we're killing each other trying to get there. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. It's bull crap. Stop propping these guys up. Strength of schedule, period. That's just how it is. Strength of schedule. It's got to matter. If not, then you can just play nobodies and go 12-0. Hey, we're 12-0. We made the playoffs. All our team's healthy. We didn't even play our starters. It's freaking ridiculous. And here we got Mississippi State on the likelihood of beating Texas. I just give you some stat facts. And there's another small possibility of another one on the horizon that I picked Sunday. Trying to get to it, and it will not back up. My God, it's not going to back up. Okay. There's a game of brewing, 6:30 ABC. Anybody like to take a guess what I'm talking about? It's a spooky pre-Halloween game down at the Swamp. 5-2 LSU Tigers will be hosting the number 3 highest ranked in 75 years, the Texas A&M Agricultural. Is there a chance? Can LSU beat A&M at home? No Texas Agricultural School? Well, I think so. It's good to see programs continue to move in the right directions, Elko says. A&M head of the SEC 4-0 and overall 7-0. Bama right behind 4-0 and 6-1. Defensive note: Elko was not pleased with his team's defensive performance against Arkansas. The Aggies allowed 268 yards rushing. So why couldn't I mean, Auburn had the best running game in the conference. Then why didn't they run for a bunch of yards? Does that mean that Arkansas is going to run for a bunch of yards on Auburn Saturday? So, for the first time all season, he did not name any defensive players of the week. Safety Dalton Brooks was asked how the defense received Elko's messages. It wasn't a bad reaction by anybody. He said, we knew what we did. We knew how the game went. It wasn't our best game. And I think Kelly may be coaching for his job a little bit, guys. I mean, Michigan plays Michigan State. Whoopity doodly. Big bad Arizona State, Big 12, they killing out there, baby. Lost to Mississippi State. They're great, though. Boston College, Baylor, Cincinnati. I know your guys not interested. Texas Tech don't have their quarterback. They're playing Oklahoma State. Won one game. They ain't won a conference game. Illinois, Washington, not interested. But I am interested in Vanderbilt hosting Missouri. Vanderbilt's favored by 2.5. Missouri better. They had some problems tackling sometimes to be able to get guys on the ground. I assume they better get that figured out because Pavia can slash them up and whack them and slash them. Missouri does have that. That Zay Young is a great defensive end. Those people that saw him in person said he's exactly what you think he would be. He's an animal. I mean, he didn't even look human. It's a beast. I would be surprised if Missouri beats them. I think that'll be the end of Missouri. They'll get out of the top 25, and we probably won't see them no more. Ole Miss, Oklahoma, probably the biggest game of the weekend. Just want to be honest about it. Lane's got a chance. He's not favored. He's going to Norman. I really want to see how Oklahoma's defense handles Lane's, fast flying offense throwing all over the place. But Ole Miss's corners are not terrible. They're not bad. Can Ole Miss drum up some kind of pass rush just enough to keep Mateer off of the mark and uncomfortable? If he can, I think they have as good a chance as anybody. And last, UCLA and Indiana. Indiana should win. And he's going to run it. He's going to play. See, he's going to play starters the whole game. He's not going to. I want to see. I need to watch this game. I want to see how he rotates in his guys. If he's playing starters all game, just to run the score up to look good for style points because the strength of schedule is 54. And they're going to get in the playoffs with a 54th strength of schedule. Yeah. And they're going to lose to Ohio State. They'll get beat 40-14. And they'll go to playoffs, go first round, and get smacked by a rematch with Oregon. I'm just saying. So I got to see that one. Ole Miss, Oklahoma. I don't really want to talk about Indiana. It's just a game. I'm going to have to check it out. So Oklahoma's favored by ESPN. Stats. You can look up stats. All the guys are fairly close. Lacey has run for a lot of more yards than Blaylock at OU. But linebacker at Ole Miss got a lot more tackles than old Lewis does at Oklahoma. Receiving yards for Santigna. Yeah, I remember we watched him play a lot. He's good. Wide receiver at Oklahoma, number 5. Santigna. junior, 5'10". About how many's he got on the year? 500 yards. That'll probably be one of the better games. And Oklahoma, Ole Miss should be one of the better games through the weekend. Memphis, South Florida, dude, they also play at 11 o'clock. They're going to be ESPN too. We broke down Bama, South Carolina, every which way but loose. I just don't think South Carolina's got enough juice. Missouri, Vandy, talked about that too. That'll be another good game. So I think there's about 3 good games. What's going on, Big Starkey? Yeah, I think LSU's probably got as good a chance. Yeah. Oklahoma, Ole Miss, 38-35. Joe Montana. So that's kind of Polish Day podcast. Wrapped up stuff around here in the local area. Got in a good 45 minutes or so of that. And good 45, 50 minutes college football talk. We got to get it out there. Talk about the reffing situation. And again, the refs absolutely should be held accountable. They need to be transparency. They don't have to answer for nothing. That's the thing. There's zero consequences. Ref calls a bad game, zero consequences. Nothing has to happen. Coaches coach a bad game. They got to go sit on podium and answer questions. Here would be a case, and I know some of you have already heard this. If you hadn't, then this is new to you. If you have, then follow along here. And you'll say, yeah, I think it's good. The refs there need to be a board of refs. There needs to be a full-time refs. There needs to be full-time refs. They need to go to class. Refs need to have a school in the off season, watch film, pay them. SEC refs, it's terrible, dude. And for younger people don't know, it's been this way. It's been bad for a long time. Have an SEC officiating school, pay these guys a decent salary. Golly, gosh, y'all making like these $200 million deals through ESPN, all these contracts. Pay refs, pay them decent wage, hire them year round. They go to class in off season. They work their, whatever, their regular lives. But they have a couple days a week, they got to go seminars, just like teachers do in the summer. Same thing. In the summer, refs need to be in a class. And you can rotate it between basketball refs, volleyball refs, football refs, SEC, period. Hire refs. I'm sure there's somewhere we could do it at. Have a central place to do it. Have your training. And stop making – do you know this? There's rules different by state. I know there's some by conference. The NCAA, I don't know if all you realize this. The NCAA they don't have – you're kidding. Y'all don't really think the NCAA has any kind of control over this, do you? They can't even control the players or anything. They're just it's Willy Wonka, U.S. Fed marshals out there. You just go buy players. It's the Wild West. It's paid fun and gun show. They can't control nothing. They're not doing anything about nothing. People are just doing stuff right now and asking for permission later. They don't even care. If we get in trouble for it, well, I saw it. We'll just pay a fine or whatever. I'm telling you, it's a joke. It's a freaking joke. And this ref stuff plays right in with all that. It's a commonality to know SEC refs are bad. At any age group knows that. Older guys close to 50 like me to younger guys, even like Zach. They know he's watched football forever. It's bad. It's terrible. We need to hire a crew, full-time employees. That's your job. And it's going to be the same rules all across the SEC, no matter what state they're in. Dude, Number one thing on the list for me would be targeting. Stop throwing them out because there's no consistency in what they're doing. You see a defender go down to lead his head. He's going to tackle a guy, and he's going to hit him right in the chest. Then the running back lowers his head at the last second. Boom, defender out. You're out of the game. And the half of the next game, too. Because the running back lowered his head into you. Pow, he's out. You're gone. Stop throwing them out because you can't make a real consistent. So just make it 15 yards and move on. That's rule number one. Let's make a board of refs. Let's keep it all fair. Yes, absolutely. Kurt, I know he comes by a lot on the show. You're now been appointed by the Diamond Dean and myself to head up a board of referees to call games fairly for the SEC. And if they don't, they have to answer to you. I give you free will and domain, sir, to do as you wish. Something's got that. I think that helps. And just say you're going to pay them a little more to get their hands out of their pockets. Because look, we can talk about conspiracy theories. It's 100% sure that these refs bet on these games. They just had all these arrests talking about FBI busting all these guys in these gambling cases. Nah, he'd have it. He'd run it straight. Talbert. He wouldn't mess around with nobody. You either get done right or you get gone. You get it gone, mama. So we know that there's illegal betting, and they've changed the age again too now. See, there's something I missed it. I forgot to write it down. That was like a month ago. We could probably look it up. There's something about college football and betting. There's an age thing. They changed something. And I remember people saying, man, this is just totally going to change betting for these refs are involved. Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you. First, after the coach turns in plays that feels like the refs told wrong, and when the board reviews it and we find out, like Auburn turned in 11, they had 9 appealed and said you were correct on 9 of the 11 you turned in. I want a ref to go sit down like this in front of a mic and a camera and show me the 9 out of the 11 that he screwed up. Answer for it to the mic. What are you seeing on this play? When you call this is what I saw. This is where I made a mistake. And Dr. Pay. In high school refs in Georgia, when they get a mark and when the state reviews it and GHSAA, when they review it and they find out the ref was wrong, they dock his pay for the game. I don't think Alabama, I'm pretty sure Bama don't do that. If they do, I will stand corrected. I'll go right along with you. There's nobody, the refs, they can just call bad calls. There's nothing to blame. That guy stepped out of bounds, last play of the game. Here goes the refs out the door, running out of the stadium. Hey, we're going to review this. Hey, hold on. Where you? They gone. No answer. You can write letters. It's not going to change nothing. I've been a part of high school games where clock mismanagement was done over here at a game. You know what happened about it? You can strike the ref from the game. He won't ref no more of your games, but you know what happened? Nothing. You just ref tell you one thing and the clock's doing something. It went off and they just told you something totally different. And he just was mistaken or he lied one. If a team loses, they're not going to go back. Like Auburn's not going to go back and say, we've changed the win. Auburn gets the win, because we know that you don't lose games because of some bad calls like that. They let Georgia go 99 yards right after, and then they had no rushing in the second half, which had nothing to do with the refs. They just let those bad moments, bad calls, ruin them the rest of the night. And that's just up here. You need a league. We need a referee league in the SEC to legitimately have these guys. This is their job. Here's your pay. In the summer, you go to school, you have classes, we watch videos, we talk about calls. We have a board. We have somebody, ahead of each. Maybe you have a guy in each state that, gangles all the guys up. If you live in Texas, we have a big meeting over there in Texas. You're part of the SEC, officiating crew. And then a couple of times through the summer, maybe once a month, put them all together in a room somewhere, say whatever, and talk about this stuff. That's the only things get worked out, guys, is talking about it. And this crap will quit happening. Now, is there still going to be bad calls? Yes, they're humans. Stop thinking it's going to be perfect, because when it don't go against your team and you're the beneficiary of the bad calls, and everybody at the team I've just mentioned has, Auburn's been benefited. They got 2 calls last week against Missouri to put them down there like on the 30 to kick a field goal, and he bumped it. Remember those calls? That was some bogus calls. Everybody's had part of bad calls go your way or not go your way. It just feels that way for them right now because they're not winning. Because their offense is anemic and their head coach is a joke. I've never liked. He's not a good coach. He picked the wrong quarterback. 2 years. Got to go. Fire him. Move on. Find somebody that's got some guts and you go on the field and clap these guys up and get them fired up to win. Not just dribble. Oh, we had dropped some balls and we're close. It's year 3, Hugh. Let's move on. Year three. Stop blaming the refs. Be a big boy. You make millions of dollars win football games. So, yeah, that's part of it. And he knows bad calls are part of it. And all coaches benefited from bad calls. And some coaches have lost games because of bad calls. I made that example a while ago. Last year at Bama, Ryan Williams touchdown pulled off the board because some other dude was said to be on the line or off, or one of the two. No touchdown. What? That ain't got nothing to do with what? No, Bama lost to Oklahoma because Milroe threw the wrong team several times. That's why they lost the game. It wasn't because of one bad call. It's bad playing. But there's always going to be gambling on games. We know that. These guys are going to gamble on games. And you can see by all these podcasts, because I watch them all. I watch Auburn podcast. I watch Georgia podcast. I catch some Tennessee stuff from, what's the name? Super J. And they all have sponsored by these gambling sites. Sleeper to BetUS to FanDuel, Pat McAfee, and all them. Those are big sponsors, man. They sponsor all these channels to remind you to go bet on the game. Game Time, watch Locked on Alabama. Game Time is a big sponsor for them. Locked on Auburn, Zach Blackerby. Prize Picks. Yeah, it's all over the place. It's big market right now. So maybe having a league of refs maybe they could monitor it somehow, or I mean they monitor it in a way with NFL players. Like, was an NFL player got trouble last year for betting. He didn't bet on his team or against his team. He bet on another team. Like, he played for the Falcons and he bet on the Bears or something. But he's in the facility, his training facility, betting on a game, and I guess they tracked it in there in the building on his phone. He got in trouble. I think that's silly. He's a grown man, do what he wants to with his money. Just because he bet on another team. Yeah, that's exactly it. Get the best refs. It's supposed to matter more here. Let's get 5-star refs. I mean, surely there's some kind of way, and I know they could find a way around it, or they'll give money to somebody else to bet on it for them. Have a little. I was just always taught, to take pride in my job, whatever you're doing. If you're shoveling asphalt on the road, whatever it is, or you're making a $20 million business deal, take pride in what you do. And these refs are just not. It's just a sick, egotistical world where these refs are betting on games. That's what's wrong, Zach. They're offering them NIL deals. They're getting NIL deals from other teams, I guess. There's got to be a better way to do it. I would just like to see the number one thing I've said 10 times tonight. I would just like to see them start with when you put, spots that you say these are calls the refs miss and the board goes back and reviews them and goes through them. Then the ones the refs got wrong, pin them and make him go to the darn conference meeting and answer for them. What other job in America there's no consequences for when you screw up? There are, and if I thought about it, I mean, there's probably some big business guys out there that can screw up and still, still not pay the price for something. Yeah. Now, here's the thing, and here's what we know. You can't they have to be pretty slick about it to, like, miss holding calls or on certain situations like, third and 10s and second 10s. And I don't know. I had a coach tell me this. He said he don't think that it's set up because it's just too many moving parts for them to set the game up to lose a game. But, and this coach that told me this is won, 300 games, his life. And I trust what he says. It's highly recommendable. But with bad calls and stuff to make college football, they can affect the game still, here and there. But then stuff happens, like, what if they try to, kind of flub a game but they can't, and then you just have to let it go. Like, well, we tried, but if we try to keep pushing for this, like, like Bama had, like 20 penalties at the Tennessee game. They were bound and determined Alabama's not winning that game. No, they're not going to let them win that game. They were holding Bama's players all night long. Dude, I got videos. I didn't show none of it. I really didn't talk about it, but just that night. And you got to move on. Hey, you get bad calls and you lose games, but you move on. You got to get ready for next week. You can't dwell on it. That's just the way it's supposed to be. You can't have a loser mentality and just hang on to it. Because it ain't going to change nothing. Just keep barking about it. So, yeah, cool. Ref gets fired. He needs to be held accountable. I still want to know the calls that he screwed up, the 9 of the 11 that Auburn appealed and got right. I want to know which 9 it was, and I want him to tell me why he called them that way. I don't like it. No accountability. What other job? Every one of us that works somewhere, if you mess up at work, you got to answer for something. Somewhere along, somebody's going to question what you did at least. Somebody's going to at least say something. Yeah, I'm not saying you're going to get fired. If you really make a big, something like blow something up or really tear something up, costs the boss a lot of money. But, Zach, blue-collar working man, plumbing man, he puts a pipe in wrong, puts the wrong elbow, and some of those pieces are expensive, especially copper stuff, brass or whatever, If he puts it in wrong, his guy that's over him is going to come to him and say, bro, what are you doing? What? That elbow is $25. We didn't put that piece in. I'm going to have to take it back out and now spend $25 more to go get the right one. And time, because we're losing time on this job. We get paid this much money for this job, and we're losing time because you put the wrong fitting in there. You have to answer for it. Ref calls a terrible game. Terrible. God, dude, we've seen some some bad ones. Not just in the SEC. There's been some other games I watched this year too. Colorado game. I don't remember which one was it. It was bad. There were so many bad calls. I mean, I'm just looking off in the Wonderland like, what? Are they even on the same field? Like, what? Are they watching the phone? Are they watching the game on their phone, these refs? What is going on? Terrible calls. No consequences. They can do what they want right off the field. Write a letter. We're sorry about this, and we take full responsibility for the price of play. Shut up. Shut up. Who was it? I think, was it LSU, Arkansas, about maybe 10 years ago nearly. The one that went to like 4 overtimes. And the punter faked the punt and took off to the end zone and kind of danced about the 5 a little bit. And they took the touchdown off. I ain't never seen that. Because he put his finger up in there or something or did a little high step. They took the touchdown off the board. He run a fake punt. I'm pretty sure it was the kicker for it was LSU. I think it was LSU Arkansas game. Stuff like that. You know, they don't have to answer for any of that. Yeah. They should lose their pay for the night. If you got a bunch of calls, like if they turn in 10 bad calls and more than half of them, you were wrong, the ref, there were 6 out of 10, you were wrong, and the coach was right on turning you in, you're going to get paid tonight. That's how you fix it. I mean, let's just be honest. That's how it stops. But if they're really betting on these games, because we just seen there's 63 different cases, FBI is busting some big time. That Chalmers and them, that's just out there because they're the names, because they're NBA old players and coaches and stuff. There's a lot of other crap going on, man. This betting stuff is completely out of hand. It's insane. So, what else y'all got on your mind? We've been through college games. We've been through high school games. Had a good time tonight, man. It's good. I like getting here and talking. Kind of gets all the other crap in my head that you have to deal with daily. I get to forget about it. So thank you guys for helping me. Here, one last game. I heard somebody talking about this today on some podcast, and I kind of feel stupid to say it, but I will anyway. We got 5 minutes or so here. Stanford's got to go to Miami. Probably not, but I mean, Miami's favorite. Do you take Miami? We'll just say that. Do they win by 30? Stanford's not real good. They're saying their quarterback, old Big Ben, is expected to return and start against Miami. It's considered probable for the game against number 9 Hurricanes this weekend. Gulberson injured his knee second quarter in the upset Stanford game, missed the rest of the game. It's thrown 1,500 yards, 7 touchdowns this year, but they're 3-4. They lost Virginia, which ain't a terrible team, and SMU, which is not bad. BYU. So Stanford's losses are not, I mean, for their they're a mid team, okay? They just are. They're the Arkansas, I guess, of the conference. They're not as bad as Kentucky or Auburn. They're the Mississippi State or something. I mean, lost to BYU, Virginia, and SMU, which is all, they're pretty good football teams. I don't think they're like top 10 teams, but you know what I'm saying. 6 o'clock on ESPN. That quarterback is suspected to play. I don't know, but I don't know if Miami wins by 30. I'll just say that. So, yeah. Well, hey, look, obviously Beck he don't mind throwing some picks. So if He gets pick happy, like old Booger picking Gus Malzahn, just smacking that gum and picking that nose. That's what's cost Florida State the games. His offense, it's just not. He had 3 months to prepare for Bama. That's what it took for them. It took him 3 months to drop a game plan to beat them, and Bama didn't lose because they lost because they was loafing. Pure out sorriness, just period. But man, when you say stuff about Auburn, you're just hating. You're just a hater on Auburn. Hate Auburn. I see you put it on your page. You hate them. You're not biased with you. You just hate them. I'm saying the same thing. They loafing. Weak minds. They got beat by Florida State. That's why. Bad calls. There's some holding and stuff here and there. Sure, yeah. Pass interference. Yep, I've seen 2 or 3 times. They ain't saying nothing about it. You know why Alabama lost? Weak minds. Why is Auburn losing? Weak mind. Your coach ain't ready. He's not. It's 3 years time to go. Yeah. Yeah, Beck. I don't know, man. If their defense can get some pressure on him and make him look as bad as old Castellano pizza, that would be devastating. Look, last time I'll say this one. Wisconsin's not beating Oregon. Mississippi State dropped Texas. They're done. They're already out. They're done. I don't know if Washington can beat Illinois. I guess there's a shot because it's at Washington. So don't be surprised if you turn over there and Washington is up ahead of Illinois. I think Vandy gets Mizzou. Just give an honest, quick reaction. Memphis, I don't think their quarterback, he's still out. Virginia's winning. Ole Miss, Oklahoma would be a good game. If by the computer, by Vegas, if Oklahoma thumps Ole Miss out and South Carolina and Alabama walks up there to South Carolina and goes to sleep and Sellers has the game of his life, which we've seen old Garcia do that day, Steve Spurrier, coach of South Carolina. Do y'all remember that game? Game of his life. I think it was McElroy and them, wasn't it? When it Greg's the next year after they won it, they smoked Bama. Yeah, I mean, they just rolled them up and just made them look stupid, like an old rusty banana peel. They go up their head up their butt thinking they got it. So, Bama loses. LSU beats A&M in the night game. Stanford beats Miami. Sheesh, what a mess it'll be this weekend. There'll be people dropping all over the place. That's pretty good score. Talking about Bama game, I know. By looking at stats, which that's those geeks watching now. Well, I figured by the game, Matt, I've seen it. There's no way that Alabama could possibly shut up. You watch the game and see how people play. And watching the game and how these two teams played, Bama should, I don't think this, 48-6. I'm serious. Guys, South Carolina, they don't left tackle, right guard out, done. They're gone. Had to change center a few weeks ago. Offensive line coach just got hired. Again, it's tight end coach. He's coaching O-line. Sellers is just back in for the past 2 weeks. Their top receivers got like 50 yards or something. Their D-backs is like 106 in the nation on giving them passing yards. They're not – it's a bad show in South Carolina. They are not doing well at all. They had to move a receiver. I told this in the summer. I reported this. They had to move a receiver to tailback. They're not doing real great. Bama should win 42-6. They score 6 touchdowns. SC gets 2 or 3 field goals. Maybe Bama gets up 36-0. They let Russell come in or Matt come in and play a little bit. I don't know. It should be that bad. It won't be because law of averages, they go up their head or their butt and travel on the road. They just want to keep it close and not go up there and smoke them and blow it out. Because Grubb likes to keep the ball, play slow, and put in these little gadget plays here and there. And they keep saying and they know more about the team than we do because they see them every day. They're saying we still ain't playing our best game. It's like it feels like Grubb is working backwards. It feels like him and DeBoer started at championship game, and they're working backwards to play calling and stuff. So you're just going to see it escalate as they get more. I've heard of coaches doing that. You have to be a pretty confident coach, but I have heard a high school coach, and he was a good one. I've heard of coaches having plans like that. That way where your offense is just getting you hit more of a stride. They're like, well, gosh, do you see teams that they say, well, they're hitting their stride at the right time? I'm telling you, that's not always the case, but a lot of times that's why. Some of these coaches, they work backwards from it. So it seems like you see them trajecting. They're kind of moving up. But now if they don't execute the plays, the players don't execute them, you can draw them up pretty as you want. But if you dudes don't get it done in practice and don't execute the plays right, it don't matter. Then it's instead of doing this, it goes bump, 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 bump. It's just hit or miss. So that's all I got for you today. Appreciate all you guys and gals coming by and hanging out. 2 hours is always a good mark. Got to get off here. My eyes is tired. Got to get up early and grind it out for a few hours in the morning. If y'all ain't doing nothing, we know everybody's traveling. Turkey County at Nashville, Spring Garden off, Cedar Bluff off, Gilville at Wolville, and Sandrock is at Gaston. Coach Dupree, the new coach there at Gaston. Heard good things about him. They say he's done a good job there. So there you go. That's it, and that's all. Guys, this is kind of it. It's going to be a lot of college football talk. Now, we'll do brackets and stuff, but we're not going to have a lot of teams in the county make playoffs. We're going to have a team or two that's not going to make it. So, Cherokee County is going to definitely be in it. They'll be third or fourth, one of the two. They're going to travel either way. And Spring Garden's going to make it in. They're going to have to travel first round. And Sandrock will have to travel too. They're going to be a four, so they're going to have to go play a one. That's tough, man. You have to go travel, play a one in another region. Who would be there? I hadn't even looked at that. Glad I brought that up. Who would be there one? Let's just look before we get off because now I'm curious. And I'll look it up as soon as we get off, so I might as well look it up now. All right, 7 plays 8. Oh, Lord. I hate that for y'all. I'm sorry, Aaron. Red Bay, I've been there. It's a terrible drive. God, it's a long drive. Dude, it's like 3 hours. It felt like 3 hours. Red Bay is home of the Tiffin Motorhomes. Yes, Tiffin that kicked the ball at Alabama. That's his family. Their motorhomes. That's where they're all from up there. Alma Bryant and Red Bay, that it's right there at the Mississippi line. Coach Rush Probst is the one that started the program there at Alma Bryant between, was it Bryant and this Red Bay school or something? And Coach Probst tells the story. And it's a great story. He had to be AD of both schools. Like 1 through 3rd period is AD here, then 4th, 5th, 6th period is AD. It's crazy. He had to bring them together. Coaches wore different shirts. I'm getting off track. It's a great story. I like that kind of stuff. So I was saying there, point here was I want to see where Sandrock have to go. There'll be a 4, so they're going to have to travel to Region 8, number 1, which is Red Bay. And we went there. Cedar Bluff went. Because the senior year we played at home. I thought we played Hackleburg. We had to go. It's junior year. think did we have to travel first round, or did we? Yeah, because it's 2A. We got in the middle of that 5. We finished like 3rd or 4th. We had to go to Red Bay. And just reporting what I was told at the store from a lady at Red Bay, pulled up, knew was pretty close to where we was going by the phone, get us a drink or something before we got there, a little Dr. Pepper, some chips. Oh, I see you got your jersey on there or something, hat. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yep. Oh, y'all got a football game up here in town, Red Bay? Yes, ma'am. Oh. You know, they got their refs with them. They keep them right there. You know that, right? What? Yeah. Good luck. I'm just telling you what she said. And then during the game, I saw why. I literally watched him. They stretched the chain on us to take a first down away. I seen it. And watched them move the ball past the chain to give them a first down. I called him out. I said, I'm looking down, bro. It's not even close. I said, I'm looking down. You're cheating kids. Is it really that important for your team to get the win, to go the next round and lose? Because that's what happened. Really? I don't know. I was thinking if I don't know if we'd have beat them or not. We played them pretty good. So I'm sorry, Aaron. Sandrock. God, it's a long drive. There ain't a whole lot up through there. When you go to Red Bay and you get out there about an hour away nearly, it's just 4-lane interstate. It's just like up and down. You can throw 500 yards from Mississippi. It's just right down. You just keep going right past. It's right there close to Mississippi line. It's way up there. We went in 2018. Yeah, anyway. I was curious where Sandrock go because I hadn't really – we're assuming that Sexton's got Pleasant Valley. I mean, we're assuming that if Sexton loses, Sandrock's in. So they'll have to go to Red Bay. That's a heck of a drive. So y'all be safe. Everybody have a good weekend. Great to see y'all on here. Oh, God, 35-6. I ain't turning it on. Wherever you're going tomorrow night, be safe. Go support some kids somewhere. If you're curious where we're going, I think we're going to drive up to 3A Region 6. I think it's Region 6 championship at Geraldine. 1 and 2 plays region championship game up there. One of the other better region championship games is going to be at Wadley, playing Wintersboro. Woo, man. And North Sand plays Pisgah. That'd be another good game up the mountain. Yeah, bet, man. You find our Facebook page. I know you know how to find it. Go over there on Facebook and follow us on Facebook, and put scores up. It's open to public. You can post scores. You're welcome to do that. And I post scores all through the night too. I'm getting scores from different people, all over the place. And so that's a good way for everybody to keep up with it. Yeah, it's the Durham Drive, Red Bay. I've been there. Nice little place. They do a pregame show with the coach and stuff. I watched so much film on them. God, I watched them play so many games. Man, me and Marcus studied. He was center. He was the center of that game. Played center and DN. So anyway, good times. Catch y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good day. Work day tomorrow. If you got to work, if not, then you bite one. Then get to be off. Tell you what. All right. We'll see y'all Sunday. Big show. See you, brother. God bless you. Love y'all.